Story 1. My stepdaughter, 14, who we will call her A. A doesn't like me because she thinks her real dad is better, but he doesn't do anything to help. All he does is crack and uses girlfriends for money. A believes her dad buys all the things she gets. Her birthday presents, toys, clothes, and gadgets are all from me or her mom, but she honestly believes he gets them for her. She isn't just rude to me, she's rude to everyone. Like her mom or neighbor, or just people that bump into her. My wife has tried counseling and therapy, but it's only effective for a couple of days before she snaps. I haven't grounded her or anything. I leave the punishment to her mom, but she still can't behave. Recently her birthday came up and I bought her a phone she had been wanting, and she called her dad and thanked him while still being rude to me. I honestly am at my limit. I can't take this disrespect anymore. I know she's just a child, but it still gets to me. I told my wife I won't be paying for anything she needs or wants anymore. I'm not going to tolerate disrespect while still being financially responsible for her. My wife is saying I'm insensitive and an a-hole, but I completely disagree. Am I the a-hole? Edit. I will talk to her and stop paying for items unless she needs them. I will also take her to therapy again and try to be more patient. I'm sorry you're going through this, OP. This is difficult. But just remember that you're the adult in this situation and your stepdaughter is a teenager. Try to be more patient with her. I can only imagine what she's going through too, and why she's behaving like she is. I agree with you talking with her and stop paying for things she doesn't need. Provide for her needs and of course feed her. I think this might help you stop feeling like you're going out of your way to please her and stop you from being disappointed when she doesn't appreciate the effort. Also, taking her therapy again will help her. Talk to your wife and discuss how you can both work together on this as a team. Now for some comments. She's young and she probably doesn't know the type of guy her father is. Some children never see their parents as less than true authorities or deities. I feel part of her blames her mother for her dad leaving. That's a common thing in divorce. Blaming the one who stays or is there. She will either get over it or she won't. And if she doesn't, that's gonna suck. I'll say not the a-hole. You don't have to spend any more money on her. You're kind of in a lose-lose situation. Not providing for her won't help. She'll just tell people you're blocking her father from giving her things. If her dad is a crackhead, I'm assuming she never sees him. If she does, why? So maybe this is a desperate attempt to make him not horrible. If you stop providing her with things she needs and her mom is unable to, you would be an a-hole. By all means, don't buy her gifts. But it sounds like she needs therapy, like consistent ongoing therapy. Soft, you're the a-hole. In the wise words of Bobby Singer, kids ain't supposed to be grateful. They're supposed to eat your food and break your heart. I get that you don't want to allow disrespect anymore, and it's one thing to let her know what is and isn't acceptable. But you, presumably, are financially responsible for her in some way. And while you can't stop buying her the big wants, a fancy new phone she wanted, you can't just stop providing for her needs because your feelings got hurt. She's a kid, and she's lashing out because she knows it gets under your skin. Story 2. I, 29 female, and my husband, 33 male, are a blended family. I have a son, 5, from a previous relationship, and get along great with my ex, who provides so much for our son. He's a great dad. My husband has a 3-year-old daughter, and together we have a 4-month-old daughter. My stepdaughter's mom is not in her life at all and signed away her rights and OD'd after a heroin addiction, so she lives with us full-time. After my daughter was born, I became a stay-at-home mom to take care of my kids. Discussed when I was pregnant, and I did mean to her, but postpartum has been bad. So I have changed what I originally anticipated. My husband works and provides for the family financially. When I became a stay-at-home mom, my husband assumed that I would take care of all the kids including his daughter. At the time, I agreed 100%. He said that he was clear when we dated that his daughter did not have a mother and he wanted whoever he married to take on a full parental role. especially since her mom did not want her to show her that she was deserving of a mother's love. I agreed to this, and agreed since I met her when she was a year old. I call stepdaughter my daughter, but using stepdaughter in this post for clarity. However, now after having a baby, I want to take care of my kids because I am so overwhelmed and would like my husband's family to watch my stepdaughter. My husband is furious at me and says he provides for the whole family, and I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. He said I agreed to take care of stepdaughter and treat her as my own when we dated. I said that things have changed. He argued with me saying that he provides for my son, and I countered saying that his dad does a lot for him. My husband got upset with me and said he knows he has a great dad but still takes care of him and treats him like his own son. He accused me of being an evil stepmom and hating his daughter. I do not hate his daughter. I'm just overwhelmed with 3 little kids. Note, I had a traumatic birth and suffer from PPD, so this is not a permanent request of mine. My ex helps out more than usual with our son because of this. So am I the a-hole for only wanting my stepdaughter to be home when my husband is there? Edit. I live far from my family. My ex is the only one who can help with my son, though my husband's family does treat my son like their own. I just felt like it would be unfair to let his family watch my son when I could give more time to my ex, since he runs his own company and has flexible hours. My husband has a lot of family that can help with stepdaughter. Update. Talked to my husband when he came home and he agreed I needed more help. I told him that I love stepdaughter the same and that I'm overwhelmed. And he told me he knows and just got stressed with stepdaughter's history with her biological mother. I asked if he could hire a nanny, and he wants to save money for a new house in the district where my ex lives, because the schools are better and he wants it to be easier for my son to go between houses when he's older so he struggles less with having to switch homes. He's just the best husband. I called my mom and she's coming to help me for a few months with all my kids, and my husband's in-laws are going to come over and help as well and take the kids out. My husband is taking a week off of work to get everything settled. I also plan on having one-on-one time with both the older kids. And my husband and I plan on having a date tomorrow while the kids are at his parents' home so that we get a night off. Lastly, I want to say that I love my stepdaughter with all my heart. I will never stop being grateful that my little girl calls me Mama. I will never forget the honor I get from being her mom. I'm going back to the doctor tomorrow because I clearly need more help. I'm glad you realized how wrong you were and you've sorted things out, OP. I also agree with you, going back to your doctor will help you out a lot. And believing you didn't single out your stepdaughter because you don't love her or consider her as your own. You only singled her out because your ex was already helping out with your son and you felt your in-laws could help out with your stepdaughter. Your situation sounds very stressful and I can't even start to imagine your state of mind. I really hope you get all the help you need and also love your stepdaughter truly as your own because you're the only mother she knows. Now for some comments. Not the a-hole. PPD. Allowances need to be made to help and support. With the update, it seems you've already worked it out together. Honestly, even if stepdaughter was your biological daughter, having a new one causing stress and requesting family support seems totally reasonable. Hope everything works out well for you. Sounds like you have a good support network. I was going to say you're the a-hole until I read the update. You're still an a-hole to be honest. But if you're accepting help and admitting you're overwhelmed, then good on you for that. Just never, ever let the kid know you were prepared to pick your own children, her siblings over her. PPD or not, that will destroy her. Work on you and your family and be hugely grateful your partner is an understanding and patient man. Good luck to you all. Congratulations on your newborn and on your thoughtful and caring husband. I get that you're overwhelmed with 3 small children and probably have postpartum depression. But surely you knew that 2 + 1 = 3 before you got pregnant. You literally asked if you were the a-hole for only wanting your stepdaughter home when your husband is home. So yes, you're the a-hole, and the evil stepmother stereotype holds. I hope you mean what you said about getting help and didn't just say it because you were shamed by a bunch of Reddit comments, because you are the only mother this girl will ever know. Story 3. I'm 41, my husband is 44, and my stepdaughter is 23. I have been married to my husband for 6 years, together for 14. I have no biological children but love my stepdaughter as my own. In 2014, I was struck by a semi-truck and was awarded a huge amount of money as a result. I put my stepdaughter through college because I wanted to do so. I wasn't asked. I also bought her first vehicle. I felt incredibly grateful to be able to do this for her, as a mother is a piece of work and hasn't had much to do with her since she was 8. And my husband doesn't have much money either. She has always been incredibly appreciative of me and everything I have done for her, and thanks me on a weekly basis, at least, despite me telling her she doesn't have to. Well, back 2 years ago, she went on a trip to the Philippines with her college class. While she was there, she met a guy and fell head over heels. After the trip was up, she kept in very close contact with him. For the past 2 years, they have had a long-distance relationship, and it seems to work for them. Flash forward to 2 nights ago, her father and I overheard her saying that she wants to marry him and bring him to America with her. That's not where my issue is. My issue is with the fact that I walked into my kitchen several minutes later, where she was FaceTiming him, and heard a woman's voice saying, "Did she fall for it? Is she going to pay for us?" My stepdaughter was oblivious to it as she was making herself food and not really paying attention. I walk off. That night, she comes into the living room and asks for quite a bit of money, over $30,000 to fly to the Philippines and fly this guy back. As she's talking about it, she mentions that they are going to get married and soon thereafter, they will fly out his family. I explained to her that it's not that simple, that there are legalities. She tried arguing that they already had it figured out. She then goes to say, "He will stay here with us until we find a home." Not okay with me. So I said no and my husband stayed silent. She has been sulking for 2 days and won't speak to me. Am I the a-hole? Edit. I feel like an a-hole because I have more than enough money to pay for this and she never asks me for anything. If I do this, she would surely be happy. But the whole thing sits really heavy in my gut because after hearing the comment, "Did she fall for it?" and then hearing that she intends to house him at our home. Also left out that I did tell her what the woman said and she claimed that I misheard her. Now for some comments. Not the a-hole. $30K is well beyond the amount needed for airfare that would set off alarm bells without the conversation you overheard. Have her do all the research on the K1 and CR1 visas. They are expensive and time-consuming. Let her know that she will not be financially backing this choice. She will need to qualify under her own finances and pay for the visa. Not the a-hole. It doesn't cost $30,000 for her round-trip flight and his one-way flight. Nor should you pay for her wedding. Nor let someone who is a stranger to you move into your home for free. Personally, I consider getting married to an emancipating action. If your stepdaughter is ready to be married, she needs to be ready to pay for her own travel as well as her own living expenses. It's time to tell the 23-year-old that she needs to move out of your house and make her own way in the world. For some reason, Filipinos love America. The most popular method is online dating and marriage and then moving to America. I know it sounds bad, but it happens often, unfortunately. My college friend met a foreign soulmate online. He was handsome and charismatic. Unsurprisingly, once he got his citizenship, he didn't think they were compatible. And it was him, it wasn't her. Honestly, she isn't in a place where she can marry someone overseas. She has no money. It will just be a liability to her friends and family.